When I purchased this Sprinter, I had an idea of what this build was going to cost me. The Sprinter's been purchased, we now own that. But now, all the stuff that we're buying to build out the inside of this thing, all the prices are going up right now 30 to 65%, and that's across the board on just about everything that we're moving across borders, whether it's coming from overseas into the USA or from the USA into Canada. This build just got expensive. Hey guys, so I'm back at J5 Custom Vans right now, just kind of checking in on my build. He's starting to do some of the L-track and stuff on the wall. And I hit a pretty big reality of this van build that obviously I couldn't anticipate. As I've been ordering products for this van, I've been slapped with tariff after tariff, and it's starting to be, well, is this gonna crush my whole building my dream van, building my whole new dream, how can I not say it? Is this gonna crush my dream of building my dream home? Because I just ordered a shower for this thing and the tariff on the shower was $860. You do that with 12 more products, you're 10 grand more into just buying a chunk of your products. These are factors that were not into play here when I was thinking about building this thing. I didn't think that it was gonna cost me another 10 grand over here, and if we do that again, another 10 grand over there, just in tariffs on top of putting the money out to just buy the products themselves. So I've been getting emails back from companies that I'm buying products from going, hey, just so you know, if you order this product from us, it imposes this much of a tariff. That on top of it is when you're buying products now that are coming from overseas into the USA, then shipping that product from the USA to Canada, we face tariffs on both ends. So the American product coming into the USA, say you have a product coming in from China, AKA batteries or any electrical components or anything that's coming in overseas, guess what? I don't know what the tariff is at now, 100%, 150%. I don't even know anymore. It's at a point where you stop looking because it's forever changing. So that product, it gets imposed as 100% tariff coming into the USA from China. Then if we pull that product from the USA, we hit a tariff coming across the border here as well into Canada, which is just raising prices after raising prices. It just never seems to stop. So what I've noticed on my company side from the distributors and dealers that I'm working with is that the distributors are trying to absorb some of that tariff cost. So they're eating some of their profits to make it easier on the end user, but it's not dropping it a ton. So some of the companies have been sending us things saying, hey, we just got hit with 100% tariff on all of our products coming in from overseas, but we're only gonna raise our prices 60%. That's still a 60% price increase that we're all gonna see happening pretty much right now. So right now I'm trying to buy products that are already here in Canada, that they already have stock here in Canada, because if they already have stock pre-tariff, we can still get them at pre-tariff prices. But those products are selling out super fast and we just can't seem to find anything anymore. Even stuff we have at our own shop is getting to be worn quite thin, and all new stuff comes in is gonna go on a huge price increase. And I wasn't expecting that here. That wasn't even a thought of mine in here. I didn't think that when I bought my shower, it was gonna be $860 more. When I order my floor from overseas, from the USA, it's gonna be an X amount of dollars more just to get it here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, because there's budgets that I never planned for that just got thrown on me right now. So I feel for everybody out there right now trying to build a home with some really cool items. John, what do you do at this point? John, do you just give up?
All right, keep going.
John, do you just keep going? Yeah, it's getting hard and hard out here. And everything's being hit. Every time you turn around, I'm like, oh, this is okay. This product's made in the USA. So is my shower. That hit 25% tariff once it hit the border coming into here. I give up. That just gives the L-track a way to secure?
Yeah.
That's cool. So this is the L-track stuff that goes on everything, and then all the cabinets or any ceiling panels and stuff can get mounted right here to the L-track. which is awesome. So now my cabinets will not just be random screws into the wall. They'll actually be anchored quite well. And John was saying that right down here in the center, because of where the L-track is going, the actual ceiling panel itself can be removable. So if I ever need to run new lighting or run new cables through the roof, because it's secured to the L-track, we can just unscrew the ceiling panel, drop the ceiling panel out, and then we'll have access to getting into all sorts of broken things, like broken pot lights, need to run new wiring. Thankfully, I bought that before the tariffs came in. That's why right now I'm trying to pick up as much stuff as I can, source locally without having to ship it across the border up here to us to keep this van build affordable and moving forward. But right now, things like that $800 tariff that was chucked onto that one, and then the tariff on the next items that we just ordered a whole bunch of stuff for this thing. So when that stuff hits the border, it's going to get hit too, and I don't even know what's coming with that one. These are unexpected costs that are going to, well, maybe we just don't finish the whole thing. Maybe we do everything we're going to need and then add the other products later. Maybe when things calm down in this world, maybe. But I did pull the trigger on that darn shower, though. Boy, was that thing expensive. That shower was $2,500 USD, pre-shipped, pre-tariff stuff. I sat there for a minute. I'm like, do I push the buy now button? And we did, though. We got it. Go code, Mercedes Sprinter full interior trim kit. Mercedes
$1,100. Yeah.
Mercedes Sprinter trim kit with bug wall fast track. Little pockets underneath your bunk window if you put it in your wall. We can never do it on my guy. I have the things, but that's pretty sweet. Yeah. So these little panels, we had a van guy come up from the USA that I filmed the inside of his. He had them there. So that goes right there and right there. There'd be little pre-done speaker pods. And then all we'd really have to do if we do a component setup is to drop the tweeter in there too. We would get it in the same heather gray that we would doing my interior in, and it would include the speaker pods already custom molded right into it. As we buy more stuff in the USA that's going to hit a tariff. Here's the front one. And we could probably even sink a tweeter in the top there if we do a component. We'll take a look at them when they get here. Oh, that comes with all the, well, that's wicked. All the trim around all the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it saves a ton of work.
And it's upholstered in the same one we're doing, the Heather Gray Marathon Tweed. That's the exact same brand. Done deal. All right, order $2,140 USD. What do you think that's going to cost with the tariff? Bada boom. Just purchased. And now what happens next usually is I get an email from the company saying, hey, warning, tariff on its way. And that's what's been happening is people just like, they email you going, hey, I'm going to give you the opportunity to cancel this order or pay the tariff. I just paid $2,494 USD to Go Code. Everybody's like, oh, Chrome doesn't pay for anything. Everything's free for YouTubers. What I'm really curious about to know is if there's a big enough gap back there to put a stereo in that. So what I'm thinking about doing, guys, is I want to take, because I don't want to mess with the factory stereo, I'd like to put a head unit stereo here, like a double din sort of style head style unit, because I think the rack, the shelf here that goes above there is up there. So if I can fit a head unit stereo there, then I don't have to tap into that. And this head unit here would run all my sound system in the back here and also run my front stuff in here. So I could still use the subwoofer back there to bump the speakers. We'll make some custom pods in the doors so I don't touch the factory stuff whatsoever. And all this stuff gets run off the house. Then when I'm driving, I just go adjust the audio so it's all front. So it's just subwoofer in front. And I want to crank the back up, I just turn the fader to the back and that'll be all the house back here. But it'd be nice to have something that you just let the stereo run all night. It's only pulling off my house, nothing off the front. The last time we were here, we laid out roughly where the electrical wires are going to go. And looking at it now, I think we got pretty much everything that we're going to need in here. Wiring for speakers there. Speaker there. We got 12 volt under cabinet lighting, 12 volt coming in there. Speakers here. We also ran an extra set for back here just in case we needed to add an extra set of speakers in the rear as well too. There's no sticker on that side, but that's we're gonna need another piece of tape for this side, John, for speaker just in case. I don't know if we're gonna do them this far back. Pretty sure we're just gonna do the 4 here. But anyway, we got them in here anyway. There's a speaker there, 12 volt for USB. That'll probably be stuff being ran down here. Power for the 12 volt fridge. A couple of power plugs here for the kitchen. Some 12 volt USBs, because this will be where there's a table there, and a couple of wall plugs here too as well too. And then everything we need over here for my editing station. We got some power plugs, some 12 volt power, USBs and stuff along the front there too. And we're probably going to run a power bar under the desk so we can run the cable underneath and just plug, you know, because we're going to have more than just 2 or 3 things there. So if we only have 2 wall plugs, we're going to need might run like 4 or 5 plugs. So we're just going to run power bars in that scenario. So a while ago, I was looking at a bunch of products on the Nirvana Outfitters website. They're a local company out here in British Columbia that stock a lot of owl van stuff here. And when I was looking then, there was no huge price increases at that point. And I'm hoping I can still snag some products from them before those prices go up and get faced with all the new tariffs coming in to here. So fingers crossed, I'm going to maybe reach out in the next couple of days and see what they actually have there, and maybe start moving on to some of the other things I want to do to the exterior of this thing. I won't be able to pull the trigger on everything right out the gate, but if we can take on some more little projects now before all that stuff, oh, guys, this stuff makes my brain hurt. All this stuff is just government just taking my money. They tax my income, they tax the products that I make, and now they want all this extra money. I don't have any money to pay you, John.
That's a problem.
John's like, I don't care. I have your Sprinter. Good luck, buddy.
Nothing leaves.
Nothing leaves unless it's paid. Right. I'm on the phone. John got it all ripped out. Oh, tons of room in there. That'd be awesome to have a stereo right there, wired to the back. Yeah, it'll be closer to the bottom because the shelf's on the top. Yeah. Looks like they already thought about it right there. There's a little line right there for some other kind of a panel. Well, that will probably be where I put my stereo, because that's all I want to do is just throw a head unit in there and wire it.
4 inches, yeah, you got miles of room.
Wicked. Yeah, that's the idea right there. So that'll go into here. That way, if I want to control the stereo, I can just crank it up from right there. The house will be fully controlled. And also, my thought in the front is, because I don't want to screw with the factory stereo. I just don't. There's a lot of little... It doesn't sound as good, too, because you have to tap into the vehicle's speaker wires to get your audio to the amplifiers, which is not optimal. So my thought here is we keep the factory pods. We build a custom pod in here with a 6-inch mid and a tweet. And that'll hit perfectly right here on the door, firing right in there. Or we put the mid-range there and the tweeter up here in the column. That makes sense. And I can control the stereo right here and then just do balance to the front when I'm driving, and then balance to the back when we're in the back. Or we do all out, all speakers, full time. Put some chloroform on the rag, bro.
There you go.
That looks like a chloroform dispenser.
That's right. This is the only piece that I think is left.
Oh, that's it?
I think so. You've put a bunch in since you've been here?
We did the wheel wells.
Oh, that's
But I thought there was extra.
So that's all that's left then.
No.
Yeah.
That duck liner stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah. It looks like with that roof vent, the trim, because you got to put the trim on it to get all the controls and stuff to work. Normally when I put it in a van that's unfinished, you can still use the controls, but now I gotta do this to put the
true that.
But it's still it looks like a far superior fan.
I really like the fan. Yeah. Really do. Even though these probably isn't much needed, because that duck liner does the same thing. Oh, don't drop it on the dirty floor, bro. Whew.
30-ish.
We went all out on that. Pretty sure that's not gonna make a difference. That stuff's pretty sticky.
Just kind of mock it up into place, and then I'm gonna get a little
Working around the camera is not easy, is it?
Oh yeah, didn't even notice it. You want to just grab that little corner.
A little bit farther.
Drew's trying to get me to get an RC car.
Yeah, I want one so bad.
Yeah, I do too. I'll get one.
I just want to buy a basher. I want an X-Max, a Traxxas X-Max 8S. I've been dreaming about one of those things for a long time. They're also like over $2,000.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out how expensive they were.
Well, that's it. Duck liner all done in the front.
Could squeeze another little strip in there to give a shit.
So here's the skylight that I was thinking about doing in the back. Is that right there. Doing that above my bed. So when you're lying in bed, right there is a big skylight that opens up, lets in tons of air. All right, there's the install instructions. Size of the hole. John, you got measuring tape? Got a measuring tape? 27.6 inches long, 19.76 wide. I know, that's why I was like, that's why I asked for the dimensions.
Just
19.76.
19 3/4. Good. Yeah, it's exactly what this is.
Perfect. And then it's 27.5, 27 point something wide.
So 14 is the middle, so
That's a nice skylight, that one.
you'll probably need that fancy.
So yeah, they do.
trim.
They make a fancy trim for it, for the vehicle specifics.
Yeah.
No, I have a funny feeling I'm just gonna do a skylight. I think it'd be fun to have a skylight in the van. Bada boom. Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome to have a little stereo right there. And it's awesome. There's just a little clip up in there. This will drop down and we can access all the wiring and stuff on the back there. If we need to mount the bracket or something like that for the stereo. Oh yeah, look at all that room. This is awesome. It just swings down. All right, bro, well, have fun with that.
Alrighty.
I got tariffs to pay. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is crushing me, man. So in the last handful of days buying products for this van, I am probably pretty close into maybe 10, after buying that stuff today, probably $10,000 worth of products that are going to hit that border here in the next week or so, and all imposed a 25% tariff before it can be landed here on my doorstep. And this is starting to hurt. It's out of my control, and it's just a part of something that we're all just going to have to face. But this sucks.